Studying people of the past can be very difficult for us. It is really challenging to take yourself out of your own time, outside of all the things that you know now that wasn't known before, and try and see historical figures for who they really were in their time. This obviously goes for people like the Puritans, but it even applies to our understanding of people like our parents and our grandparents. It is human nature for us to ascribe our own attitudes onto them. It's also human nature to judge them from our own standpoint, not from theirs. It's important that we try not to make such judgments about people who came before us if we want to truly understand their actions. In this next part of the sermon, John Winthrop provides us with an extremely clear image of these Puritans, one that really sticks with us by telling us very directly who they are, what they are attempting to do, why they are doing it, to what end, and how they intend to do it. His descriptions are so direct and so clear, it's almost as if he knew he was writing for the future. Like he knew that he was writing not just for the 700 people gathered right in front of him, but as if he was writing for an entire nation of people not yet imagined. Let's start with who Winthrop says the Puritans are. He says, "We are a company professing ourselves fellow members of Christ, knit together by this bond of love and live in the exercise of it." Okay, let's stop and take a quick second here to make a connection back to what we talked about in episode 2 about foundations. Consider what this statement, professing who they are, that they are knit together in a bond of love. Consider what this would mean for how differently that colony might develop, as opposed to a colony like Jamestown, who were knit together by their desire to be successful and make money. And making money is not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. Capitalism is a great system for lifting people out of poverty, for giving them power over those who would try to rule unjustly over them, and improving the quality of people's lives. But it is certainly a different drive than what Winthrop is expressing here, right? This might help explain why Jamestown struggled so much for so many years to just simply survive, and was nearly abandoned on several occasions, and why Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay stabilized in that sense much more quickly. All right, back to the document. As for the what they are there to do, Winthrop tells us, "It is by a mutual consent to seek out a place of cohabitation and consortship," that means partnership, "under a due form of government, both civil and ecclesiastical." That means both secular and religious. But Mr. G, I thought the Puritans only cared about religion and nothing else mattered to them, especially not secular things. Well, you obviously would be mistaken. The Mayflower Compact also shows a strong propensity for secular government and law. Okay, let's get to what Winthrop says about why they are doing this. To what end? He says, "The end is to improve our lives and to do more service to the Lord." Nice, simple, and to the point. And that doesn't sound very different from what many Americans today might say about their own aspirations for their lives. So from this document, from just a few short sentences, we know the kind of people they are, why they came here, and what they plan on doing. Then finally, Winthrop gives us the how. How are they going to do this? What's it going to take for these followers of Christ to form a government together so that they can have better lives and serve the Lord? Winthrop describes it like this. He says, "We must love one another with a pure heart fervently. We must bear one another's burdens. We must not look only on our own things, but also on the things of our brethren." Then he proposes to make a covenant with the Lord. We discussed that word covenant back in episode 5. We saw the Pilgrims use it in their founding document, the Mayflower Compact. This is an important word to these people. Here is how Winthrop describes this new covenant. Thus stands the cause between God and us. We are entered into covenant with him for this work. So, the covenant is that if the Puritans perform the things and in the way in which Winthrop has just outlined, then in return they seek God's favor and blessing.